going? We're just getting this thing set up.
Oh, great. Great. We're doing great. Well, this is Georgina. I'm here with me are Jorge and David. So we're all here.
Waiting for ROM. Why is it waiting for ROM? I don't want to do it this way then. Close.
Entonces la demás de la 791 creo que es una user
Go
story
to meeting is not being nice today.
grandota para 3 páginas que lo que se va a hacer es agregar contenido editorial. Entonces en el CMS van a meter imágenes, van a meter textos, van a meter varias cosas. Y lo que quieren es que eso salga en UCC. Entonces para algunas páginas vamos a hacer un request al CMS y el contenido que nos reveló el CMS lo vamos a mostrar en la página, básicamente. Entonces les voy a mostrar la story. Creo que la habían puesto como por aquí. Recordaba que era 691, perdón, esta. Que es este sprint de acá. Ah, perdón. Esto por acá. Están hablando en los huevos.
All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah. Sorry, it was muted. Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. Marvin. The service endpoint. I'd like to show them the endpoint call and what we're getting back. Do you know the URL off the top of your head?
I emailed it to you.
Okay.
Marvin es el chavo del CMS que está haciendo la parte de sound. Entonces Marvin también está ahí, ¿no?
Okay, so let's see what we got over here. The main page is a doc page to give you an idea of what's available. The only methods you should need right now are dealer and program, which would be for the individual dealer detail, and dealer list, which would be for inventory search results. Okay. So, have you guys had a chance at all to look at the stories?
I briefly checked it. Wait, what? I briefly checked out.
You're on mute again, I'm guessing.
Oh shoot, sorry. I briefly
okay.
checked out 691, but I don't know, it felt kind of a bit of a mess because of the mock-ups. But we eventually found out today the right mock-ups, and yeah, I was mostly expecting like a meeting to. Because we kind of need like the endpoints and what's the data gonna be and all that stuff. So it's
Yep, that's what we're going to talk about.
It's pretty straightforward, but yeah, we kind of need like where's the data and images and all that, the details, the fine details.
Yeah, so here is the REST API that Marvin has written for us. And it's at this URL here. And then, for example, this one here, this is passing a dealer ID to the endpoint. And then we're getting all the information back that's available in the CMS. Now, as you can see, for this particular dealer ID that we've got an example for here, a number of things have not yet been entered. In this case, it looks like almost everything. So the business is still working with the tool to import and hand enter all the data that needs to go into it. It looks like the dealer hours are coming back and the sales hours, but none of this information. Marvin, have they given you any kind of a timeline on when they expect to have this populated?
Well, the locations are based on, you just sent me those URLs so for the images. So now that I have that, I can put them for probably the ones that are at least AutoNation, I think is the one you sent me, right?
Yeah.
So for the ones that aren't AutoNation, I don't know when they'll put those in.
Yeah.
For the message body header, sorry, the header, body, and disclaimer, that I don't know. There are some stuff that's available to be imported, and we've run those. So if they're not here right now, then they just need to put those in.
Yeah.
So, and this dealer in particular, I have no idea if this is one of the ones that is even normally active. So maybe we're just looking at one that doesn't have any data.
Okay. Did you guys get all that?
Yeah.
Yes. So this dealer CMS is a brand new thing, and Elizabeth Alvarez and her team are entering information into the dealer CMS as quickly as they can get it entered. But in some cases, you're going to find for certain dealer IDs, there might not be anything in there yet. So this is the doc page. So we can get a dealer by dealer ID returns a single resource. What's this one here? So this one we can also pass a program ID in?
Yeah, so basically the first one is you just send in the dealer ID. It'll send you one without regard to what program it is. So it'll just send back the first one, the first dealer regardless of program. The second method that's highlighted right now takes in a dealer ID and a program ID. So if you do know what program it is, if it's I don't know, iControl or new car or used car, it'll be more specific for the detail that it sends you.
So for our particular use case in usedcars.com, we're probably just going to be looking at the dealer ID that comes back with the vehicle.
We mean yeah.
I'm guessing, yeah. So you'll probably just be using that one. And then this one here, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is the batch. So in the case of a paginated search result page, you're going to have 5 or 10 vehicles per page. In the new SRP that's being built right now, we have a continuous scroll that's loading 5 or 10 at a time. So each time you get a batch of 5 or 10 vehicles, I would think that you would go through them, get a distinct list of dealer IDs, call this endpoint here, where you're allowed to send in multiple dealer IDs in a comma separated format, and then you're going to get back data for each dealer. And then you take that collection and you would loop through it to find the dealer ID that matches the current vehicle that you're iterating over. You would pull out, and you can see in this particular case, there's a little bit of information in here, but now all the hours aren't in this one. And then you'd be able to decorate your vehicle or your VDP accordingly. Let's see what else we got here. So that's one dealer ID, multiple dealer IDs.
And the rest you guys might use us for importing.
These are for other things? Okay. So I think that this one here, the first one, and this third one here are probably going to be the two that you'll use. And then it looks like for a data transfer object. Now, do you guys want me to stub out the API method and the data transfer objects for you? And I can do that today and get it checked in, and then you'll have those to work with.
Awesome.
That would be nice, although how busy are you? We don't know how busy are you. Because
I'm really super busy.
Okay.
If you guys want to do it, that would be appreciated.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
your data transfer object your data transfer object, what I'd really like is to have everything that's in here
Okay.
in the DTO. And so what you're going to need is branding hours. All right. So it looks like you might need a branding, an hours, and one for the whole puppy.
Okay.
It looks like you're going to have a branding object with properties. You're going to have an hours object with properties, and then an outer object that will contain all these guys.
Okay.
And then what you want to do is make sure that your field names in your data transfer object match these exactly. Then we don't have to worry about mapping. And some examples for you would be here in domain, models, where we want to put these guys. You may want to create a new folder here under models and call it dealer CMS.
Okay.
And then, you know, for each property, you're going to have a JSON decorator.
Maybe dealer branding actually is probably.
Or dealer branding. Yeah, so you could call it dealer branding. The new folder that you create here, you could call it dealer branding. Anyway, for each data transfer object, we use an interface-based method of development. So you want to have an interface. You want to have a class that implements the interface. You also want it to implement entity. And you want these JSON decorators on here. And the JSON decorators, the property names are the exact same string values that we have in the C# class, only they're all lowercase. So like page name with an uppercase P and N, this is all lowercase. And that'll go here in domain models. And then in your services here, this is going to be a RESTful service, so it can go down here. If you want, this dealer service right now isn't being used for anything. Everything in it is commented out. So if you want to rename this or just use this one and put your stuff inside of here, that would be fine. If you want examples of how we're implementing it, you can see here in vehicle content or vehicle spec. Hey, Marvin, the service that you wrote, is it using Redis at all?
No.
Okay. So in these vehicle content service and vehicle spec service examples, you won't need any of this stuff that's looking for Redis cache keys. And then inside your code, you're not going to worry about this block here that checks Redis.
Right.
Cool. So yeah, I would just add, maybe, like I said, maybe you just want to reuse this dealer service here.
Yeah.
Delete all this code that's in here.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got the DTO, you'll need a new service. We'll go ahead and email you this information here from Marvin on this endpoint.
Awesome. I got a question.
Marvin,
Yeah, sorry.
hang on just a sec.
Go ahead.
Marvin, do we have an instance of this service in every environment, dev, QA, staging, and prod?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
We just changed prod to, QA or dev or staging, or STG, I think. Staging.
Okay. So the way we typically do the endpoints is we have down here in the where are they, Marvin? Where are they? Data service, there it is, services. There we go. So these are our service endpoints. These guys here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these ones here in the services config, these point to dev, and then for QA and production and staging, we will have different endpoints. So all you need to do is enter in the 3 items here. So you'll have the URL from this email that Marvin's got here. This guy here. So that will go into a collection like this. API version, is that necessary, Marvin?
No.
And do we need a timeout?
Nope.
Okay. So all we're going to need is the endpoint in the web config, and you can call it dealer services, or what did you suggest we call it?
Dealer branding?
Dealer branding. Dealer branding, endpoint, and then just put the URL in there, and then make use of that in your code for the service. Let's see. So I'll go ahead and email this to you. You want me to just send this to you, Gerardino, and then you can send it to George and David and whoever else is going to work on this?
Yeah, sure.
Or do you want?
Let's try something. Try emailing it to CP dash that one. That's
No.
that's the three of us.
Okay.
And
Do it like that then.
Edgar. Yeah.
Just like that. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll copy ROM here. So you've got the endpoint. We walked through where you're going to create the DTO up here, where you're going to implement the new service down in here. Is there anything else you guys need?
I think, oh yeah, do you happen to have like just one dealer that has like the whole information, including the badges, images, so we can like test how they look with them?
Marvin?
Yeah, I'll have to look in the database. I'll look in the database and find something for you guys so you can see what it looks like with one that's filled.
Okay, great.
So Marvin will send you an email.
You could copy Marvin on the email. I don't know if you sent it already, so he can like respond there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool. Do you know in the database if you have any dealer IDs that are pretty much fully populated?
I'll have to look.
Okay. We may have to do some dummy data in dev, so we'll work on the data as time permits for the next day or so until we get something for you.
Thanks.
Anything else we owe you?
We don't think so.
We have to check the
Okay.
templates, how they look, if something.
Oh yeah, there's one other thing. We have like the mockups from InVision. The HTML. I forgot to ask in the morning. Is Miyoko gonna work on it, or can we just jump straight ahead on that ourselves?
We had asked Charlie this morning to talk with. Come on, Cheer.
That's correct.
We had asked Charlie this morning. Yeah, we had asked Charlie this morning to talk to Oscar about new mock-ups for these. So I don't know, how close are you guys to him? Can you walk over to his desk and see if he's working on them, or?
Well, he's like 6 floors below, but I'll ask him. I'll write him to see what we're
Yeah.
gonna do
So
about
this
that.
morning. Yeah. So this morning we asked Charlie if he's going to generate some new mock-ups. He said he had some, but I don't know if they've been put on the story yet.
Right. Okay. I'll check that out with them, with Charlie and Oscar.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah, is there anything else you guys need? Just go ahead and shoot me or Marvin an email. Marvin's the one that created the dealer CMS, and service endpoint, so he's very familiar with what's in there and how it all works. So those kind of questions, you go ahead and send those to Marvin.
Great.
All right, guys.
So,
Well, if there's nothing else, I'll let you guys go early.
oh, thanks. It's like almost
All right, guys.
time to leave here. Okay,
Yeah. You guys have a great night then. I'll talk to you later.
bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You too.
Bye, guys.
Bye. ¿Quieren ver los mockups? Wow, Va, este es el mockup, pero este no es. Por alguna razón uso un InVision para todo. Entonces son estos de aquí abajo. Ah, no. Claro que estos de UCC acá. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que va a pasar? Para cada uno de los listings de estos van a haber batches y cosas de logos, que es la data que viene en esa onda. Entonces está este. Esto sería, ¿qué? Para la página de details. Entonces aquí va a tener un batch y aparentemente un hover batch y un personal message y un disclaimer text. Pero es de que tiene toda esa data, la información de dealer. Y todo esto viene en función del dealer. Entonces, para cosas como esta de acá, es de que podemos ir a traer varios dealers a la vez. Aquí nos serviría la de solo un dealer. Y esta onda de acá, esto ya no es de nosotros. Yo creo que había otro mockup de UCC.
¿Y la llamada que se hace para conseguir esa data es asíncrona? O sea,
Esto se va a hacer server side.
server side.
Sí.
Toda la información viene de ahí entonces, solo...
Y vamos a hacer un servicio que obtenga esa información. Entonces empaquetaríamos, lo que podríamos hacer es decorar, bueno, no decorar, extender el objeto que se hace, que devuelve
Details.
esta onda, ajá, y agregarle esa información. Para que a la hora de que se pinte, cuando ya venga del request, en este caso del asíncrono, ya traiga esa info. Y aquí pues se pinta server side todo. Entonces eso habría que ver, estos son los mockups que decían que hay que preguntarle a todos.
¿Cómo llegaste entonces a este listado?
¿Cómo sé qué listado?
¿A este?
Este es el buy, por ejemplo. Son los listings de esta onda. El buy y todas las páginas que son exactamente iguales y que tienen ese coso, el
Sí.
bill de eso.
Aplicaría para todas las rutas disponibles para el buy, porque ahí podemos colocar buy o luego podemos colocar make model. Aplicaría para todas.
Sí,
¿va?
para todos. Básicamente. Y la editas. No sé qué vamos a hacer con el sistema. Les voy a preguntarles a si tienen algo, porque si no lo que... Bueno, igual no es tanto, o sea, no es como que un gran cambio. Es solo modificar los que ya tenemos. Entonces, no es como que... Solo sería de nosotros básicamente hacerlo de eso de agregar esas ondas. Y esto no recuerdo cómo está en la página de estas ondas.
Lo que pasa es que sería bueno por lo menos ver cómo se ve entonces en mobile.
Ah, está el mockup de mobile acá. Esto se ve exactamente igual y la que me interesa es esta. No sé si este es un white break para todos, que va a ser igual. Pues así. Así parece que se ve. Ahí le puedes dar tapa al batch.
Ese como que solo redujeron
¿Sí?
la resolución.
Sí.